Now keep going. Section 4.4, number 13. This question is a little bit special because they talk about the terminal side. The terminal side of the angle theta is on the line. So this line here, this line, y equals 1 over 6x. So 1 over 6x, I graph for you here. Now, if you draw a circle, you may see that the diameter circle is what's the radius. Maybe small, maybe 1, maybe radius is 1. The easiest way we calculate is we assume, not assume, we base on when radius is 1. If radius is r, then we simply multiply r to all the values. So, not hurt, we use radius equals to 1 for calculation. Okay? Now, y equals 1 over 6 times x will intersect this circle with 2 points to intersect. Now, there's another condition talking about they intersect and this angle and the terminal side for this angle is on the third quadrant. This is the quadrant. So therefore, the endpoint xy should be both negative. That's all the information. When we are talking about quadrant, we don't talk about the value of the xy, but we do talk about the positive sign for xy value. Now, I said that it's easier we assume r equals to 1. If you want to use r squared, x squared plus y squared equals to r squared, you have too many numbers there. So the better way is you calculate with r equals to 1 and then find those xy. Okay, so how to solve for system of equations? I solve it for you, and after I solve for y, then y is sine theta, x is cosine theta, because our radius is 1. So then you can easily find your sine theta and the cosine theta. Once you have sine, cosine, tangent will be sine over cosine. And the rest will be just the reciprocal. You need to remember the definition by yourself. So the rest you do it by yourself. Number 14. Cosecant is the reciprocal of the sine function. So first we talk about what's the value for sine function. Then the reciprocal will be easy to find. Now 3 pi over 2. This is pi over 2. 2 pi over 2, which is pi. So 3 pi over 2 is here. We check you try to find the xy value. So this is the y value, right? Y value is -1. After you find the sine value, then the reciprocal is the cosecant value. Number 15, pi, here is pi. So you try to find the endpoint for the angle pi. So cosine is x coordinate, which is -1. Cosecant is just a reciprocal of cosine. So we can easily find the answer. Number 16. Okay, number 16, starting from number 16, we are going to deal with a new type of question. You need to find the reference angle. I'm not going to give you formula. I would like you to graph and then you can recognize the formula by yourself. Okay, so first you have to understand the reference angle is the angle inside the triangle. Or sometimes I say the angle to build the triangle. Okay, so 293 degree. Where is 293 degree? 293 degree is, I would like you to memorize the degree here. 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree, and this is 270 degree. Therefore, 293 should be around here. Okay, that's 293 degree. Now 293 degree, how you find the reference angle? Keep in mind, when you want to build a triangle, the triangle need to be built with the terminal side, the initial side. No, I don't want to say initial side. With the x-axis, okay? Sometimes it's the other side, right? The x-axis. So we always build a triangle with x-axis. Therefore, the angle we try to build a triangle, we call this the reference angle. So reference angle is here. And this is the original angle. Now, how you find the reference angle? If you go the whole circle from 0 and keep going one circle, you are going to have 360 degrees. But we are looking for this angle. How you find this angle? I will say 360 minus 293 degrees. Make sense? Okay. So the answer will be 67 degrees. Now, depends on where is the angle. You have different formula to find your reference angle. Therefore, I don't suggest that we memorize formula. When you draw a picture, you can see obviously where is your reference angle. So first, the 293 degree is not here. No, right? No, not here, and not here. So the only possible will be around there, either this one or this one. Why I choose this one? Let me see. Doesn't these two looks the same? What's the difference? Oh, wow. Do you believe this is the reference angle? No, not. This one, right? This is the reference angle, 67 degrees. Okay? And then we build a triangle according to this 67 degrees. So this is not. This is yes. So far, okay? Next one, number 17. Find the reference angle. So right now you pay attention on the negative. Angle is negative. So you need to go from here, the clockwise. Clockwise is the negative angle. and the negative more than 180. So should be on the second quadrant. And how you build the reference angle should be here. Okay, so which one is the right one? Looks like this one, right? The reference angle will be acute angle for you to build the triangle with the x-axis. So this not. This looks like yes, right? Let's see. This reference angle, is this reference angle too big, right? This is a reference angle, not this one, not. Okay. So, and where is theta? Theta is a negative angle, so theta should go here. So this theta should go this here. So this is not right theta. Number 18. Did I do number 18? I didn't do number 18. Okay, let me do it here right now. If you have angle 3 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, now I would like you to memorize something special. 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4. Okay, so here you have pi over 2. Pi over 2 divided by 2. You have pi over 4, another pi over 4, pi over 4 plus pi over 4, you have pi over 2. Another pi over 4, you have 3 pi over 4. Now remember, pi over 2 is 90 degrees, so pi over 4 is 90 divided by 2, 45 degrees. Understand? And then 45 degrees plus 45 degrees plus another 45, 135 degrees. I would like you to be very familiar with those degrees, special degrees, pi over 4. And when you have pi over 4, and when you build the triangle, right triangle, here you have both pi over 4. So you have isosceles triangle. Therefore, you have 1 square root of 2, or you say rationalize square root of 2 over 2. They are the same thing. Okay. So this type of very special triangle, you do need to memorize all the facts. And then after you have all the data, we are talking about this angle, right? We are talking about this angle. So you are talking about, you have negative square root of 2 over 2, and the y is positive square root of 2 over 2. Okay. So when you have 45 degrees, 45 degrees, there's a special triangle. I talk about how to find all the 3 sides on last video. You can go back to review. And the sine, cosine, tangent, you just follow the formula. You can answer, follow the definition. You can answer it. So keep going. Number 19. Cosecant. Cosecant is the reciprocal of, oh, I don't like this color. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine function. So first we try to find sine is the reciprocal. And since sine is negative, negative will be down here, right? Either here or there. And the terminal size is on the third quadrant, therefore not this one. So even sine value here and the cosine value need to be also negative. How you find the cosine value? So this is the new thing you want to learn here. Okay, we may temporarily ignore the negative sign. Ignore the negative sign. Just talking about the size. So negative 1/4. If we ignore the positive negative sign, so opposite is 1. You pretend this opposite, and this is hypotenuse, right? So opposite hypotenuse, and then you use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals to c squared. A squared plus b squared equals to c squared, and then you solve for x. So this x need to be positive negative square root of 15. When we are talking about the measurement, then it's positive square root of 15. But when we are talking about the coordinate, then here you need to talking about the negative square root of 15, and if the radius is 1, then the cosine value is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is negative square root of 15 over 4. Okay, here. So when we have sine cosine as the coordinate, then the radius is 1. If your radius is r, then the coordinate will be r cosine theta, r sine theta. Okay, you need to multiply with r. Let me rewrite to be better. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Let me rewrite. So when your radius is r, then the coordinate will be r cosine theta, r sine theta. And when your radius is 1, then the point just exactly cosine theta, sine theta. Now number 20. Number 20. Remember, you need to use the correct mode when you are dealing with degree or radian. Right now, they just simply ask you, use a calculator to evaluate the degree. Now, if you use TI-84, you won't find the cotangent. You need to use tangent. And the cotangent is just the reciprocal of tangent. So, how you use TI-84? First, mode, and choose degree. After you choose degree, you need to hit enter. After you choose this degree with enter, you need to clear out. Okay, clear out. And then you can type 1 divided by tangent. When you type degree 172 on the tangent, because you already choose degree, therefore you don't need to do a little 0 degree there. You don't need to do that. Okay, don't need to do that. And then calculator will give you answer, and then you round. That's all. Okay. Next question. Number 21. Okay. When the cotangent theta equal to 0, what it means? Cotangent is cosine over sine. Remember, cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent. Reciprocal tangent. Tangent actually itself is sine over cosine. So reciprocal will be cosine over sine. Okay. Now, any fraction if equal to 0, the only possible is the numerator equal to 0. So the numerator need to be 0. What type of situation you may have numerator equal to 0? You may have cosine equal to 0. Cosine equal to 0 is x value equal to 0. So you have two choices when x equal to 0. Now when x equal to 0, it will be either 90 degree or 270 degree. 90 degree is pi over 2. 270 degree is 3 pi over 2. We keep talking about the same thing earlier today. Next, part B. Part B, remember this number, square root of 2 is very special. When we have this, is when you have an isosceles triangle, and when you have radius 1, this is 1 over square root of 2. 1 over square root of 2. That's when you have 45 degree. So if you memorize that, it's really helpful. So secant is negative, then cosecant will be the reciprocal, still negative. Now we put this number where cosine is negative. So either here or there, you have two choices. So one angle is 3 pi over 4, or the other angle is 5 pi over 4. Now 3 pi over 4 means we talked about that earlier, right? 45 degree plus 45 plus 45, so it's 175 degree. And then when you go to here, 5 pi over 4, you plus another 45 degree, another 45 degree. Then you have 225. Okay, we have two more questions to go, and then we are done with 4.4. Okay. This question, I didn't print out the whole picture for number 22, so I guess it's this. When someone stand on some position and walk upstairs, walk up to the sky. First, you see an airplane from here, fly. So first, the elevation. Okay, elevation means your eyes go up. Is 30 degree, and then when the airplane go just right up to the person, then you have the elevation degree is 90 degree, and then keep going, you have 120 degree here. I think that's what the picture talking about. Okay, sometimes elevation we may say this angle. I don't know how come this water problem talking about 120 degree, but anyway, I think that's what it means. Okay, from 30 to 90 to 120, it still makes sense. So that's called the elevation angle. Okay. Now, once you have the elevation angle, then you have one triangle, two triangle, and when you go up to vertically up, actually the angle means 90 degree, right? 90 degree. So 90 degree, they already talk about the altitude is 4.7. So they are 4.7 distance. So this one is easy. And the 30 degree, how you find the distance from this person and the airplane? What's the distance? Happen to be the hypotenuse. So if you talking about hypotenuse, looks like you want to use Pythagorean theorem. But if you want to use Pythagorean theorem, you need to have the two sides. This time you have only one side. And where is the other side? You don't know. But instead, the question provides angle. So if you have one side and one angle, then you need to use trigonometry. You cannot use Pythagorean theorem. Okay, you can no longer use a squared plus b squared equals to c. You cannot do that anymore because they didn't give you two sides. Now, if they give you angle and one side, now you understand opposite divided by hypotenuse is sine theta. And the sine theta, remember this very special number, 30 degree. Okay, so opposite to the sine theta. If radius is 1, then it's 1/2. So you should memorize that. If radius is 1, opposite to sine theta is 1/2. Okay. So if this 1/2, this one, basically you supposed figure out this. This one will be double of 4.7. See? If you have 30 degree angle, the hypotenuse will be double of the opposite in this case. So that's one of the facts you can remember. Now we go to 60 degree. 60 degree is also a special triangle. This is square root of 3/2. And here, 1/2 here, right? But right now we are talking about, no, we don't talk about this one. Okay. This is, we are talking about D3. This is D3. And the airplane altitude is 4.7. And your eyes is here. Okay. So same thing, opposite divided by radius. Opposite divided by radius is sine. This time the angle is 60 degrees. So same thing you need to memorize. Opposite to the 30 degree is 1/2. Sorry, I don't suppose to write down 1/2 here. 1/2, that's when our radius is 1. Okay, but if you have radius is 1, here is square root 3/2. You should memorize this special triangle, and here will be 1/2. Okay. So here you may use all the information, just calculate. Solve for D3. You can go home calculate by yourself. Then we keep going to the last question. Last question should be easy, but be careful. Right now is not a degree. You don't see degree here. So not degree. And remember earlier we are using degree. So you need to change your mode back to radian. And after radian, you enter and clear, go back to your calculator calculation. Now, your function here, well, okay, So when t is 0, is 9 times 0. When t is 1/4, you 9 times 1/4. So you just use calculator to calculate. So enter cosine. So that's how I'm going to use calculator. For example, this one. 5 times cosine and 9/2. 9 divided by 2. And enter. You are going to see this answer. Okay? So every question will be the same thing, not too hard. So I'm done with 4.4. See you next time. Bye.